Hi everyone, and welcome back. Thanks to everyone who watched the first video on the Electron Digitact. Today we're back to talk about the SE-02. This is a monophonic synthesizer. It only produces one tone at a time. And today I'm going to talk you through how I built a patch. It's a pad, and I'm going to demonstrate it just very quickly so you can hear. Okay, so that's the pad. And so I'm going to start from scratch now and show you how we got there. Okay, so let's quickly talk through this synthesizer. Here's our oscillators. Okay, today we're only going to be using one oscillator. All right, and actually, I'm going to turn that down for now. Here's our feedback, here's our noise. Over here, we have our amp envelope and we have our filter envelope, okay, in a row. And here's our cutoff. And those are the main ones we're going to be discussing. Over here, we have our delay, which we'll get to. And then kind of near the end of the video, for the really nitty gritty, we'll get over here. Okay, so we're going to start actually with the feedback, okay? And let's just make sure that our amp is, okay, good. So we have our feedback and we have our noise. What happens if I turn the feedback knob? Okay, so I thought that was an interesting place to start because it was producing a tone even though all of my oscillators were turned down. Kind of cool, right? And then I started to think, okay, well, what about the amp envelope? What if I brought it to a long attack, a long decay, no sustain? So this would be very characteristic of like a long sweeping pad, right? Here, let's go ahead and turn those down. All right, so now what happens if I have the feedback to 4? We have all the oscillators turned down. What happens? Okay, so you could hear as the attack came in, the pitch went down, and then as the decay began, the pitch went back up. All right, not really sure what I was going to do with that at that point, but I said, all right, well, why don't we just see what happens with its neighbor down here, the noise, and see what happens now. Okay, well, that has a lot more character to it. Kind of sounds a little scary, right? Like a ghost or something, or a scream. But that intrigued me. I thought, what a cool place to start, and maybe now I can start introducing the oscillators. So now let's introduce the oscillator and see how different is this tone if I maybe go to like 30%. All right. Still a little bit more aggressive than I would like it, so I just increased. Okay, so now we're starting to hear, I'm just going to go ahead and turn that all the way up. As we introduce the oscillator, a lot of this harshness is there, but it is being dominated by this oscillator. Okay, and that's actually what creates the bulk of this texture that I enjoy with this patch. Okay, because if I add some delay over here, right? Some cool sounds. Okay, and that's just with a little bit of feedback and a little bit of noise. Okay, now why don't we start introducing the filter? Okay, so I brought the cutoff to a 0 point, and it's gonna behave pretty regularly, this filter. All right, and we're gonna just bring it to the same setting as the amp. All right, so very similar. All right, and see what happens if I... Okay, lots of overtones. The sound seems to go through a lot of transforming in just one pass. And I thought that was really a cool place to start with just all these different colors. Okay, and you know, some of this is a little untamed, but maybe that's the fun for you, right? Maybe this, you know, the grit, the distortion. And so this is kind of how I got there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this or what you heard, or if you want me to send you the patch file, if you want the file to this pad, just let me know, and I'm happy to send it to you. I know I really like it. Thanks.